Welcome in to another episode of Foreigner Loves
Filipina!
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. We have a snow today.
Yep, today's our first snow.
Yep. And I just woke up. It's now 10, so we just ate our breakfast like very late.
Melanie can sleep. This girl can sleep 12 hours, no problem. And hardly even wake up in that 12 hours. Like, she will get up once to go to the bathroom. And I'm not saying it as a judgment. I'm saying it actually out of envy. I'm saying it out of envy because at this point in my life, I have a hard time sleeping.
All right, so what are we going to talk about?
What are we going to talk about? I thought we'd talk about, so we recently had the episode come out, Feminist versus Filipinas. We had a commenter that didn't feel we did a very good job of contrasting American women versus Filipinas, or maybe I should say, didn't think I did a very good job. Because it really was me kind of pointing out my observations of having been married to both and obviously dated both. Didn't think my observations were very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I gave my observations and you kind of commented on my observations. I thought maybe I'd ask you, now that you've been in America for 3 years, what are your thoughts on the differences between American women and Filipinas? Things that you've observed. What are your thoughts?
What I observe about women is like American women. I mean, like they're also like kind of bossy, but not maybe in a bad way. But yeah, like bossy, like they also want to be like the superior in the household, not only their husband. So they want to be equal with their husband.
They want to be in charge.
They want to be in charge too.
Equal in charge, yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't really think about, feminist. I didn't even know the word feminist until we talked that topic.
She told me that the other day. We actually filmed that episode a while ago because it's something we prepared actually before we went to the Philippines. So we would have an episode sitting there in case we needed it. But she just told me just the other day she'd never heard the word feminist until when it recently came out. And I didn't know that all this time. She'd never even heard the word feminist.
Yeah, I really didn't know that word. But then I know the word bossy. If maybe he used the word bossy or being in charge in the house instead of the husband, then maybe I will know. But the word feminist, I've never ever heard that. So yeah. And even like, for example, the household chores, like they don't want to be having this hard work, like for example washing dishes or cooking and things like that. They just want to go outside rather than being at home and cooking and doing all the dishes. I feel like they're just lazy.
It's okay, babe. Express your opinion. It's fine if that's your opinion.
Because like us as a Filipina, I want to go outside so that I don't, like, especially if I'm working and I feel tired. But then if you're just staying home and like you're working from home or whatever, it's still nice to be like eating here at home, like rather than going outside. And what else?
So you said one of your primary observations is that American women are bossy, is the word you're using, or they want to have dual control type thing. It's kind of like in the episode I talk about the 50-50 relationship. It's like they want to be equally in control, and they want an equal say in directing things, which is all fine, but in the end, someone's got to be in charge, right? Mm-hmm. When there is a conflict. Now, most of the time, you negotiate. If there's a conflict, you negotiate. Kind of like the story we showed in the episode about buying a house. you and I generally wanted the same thing, but when it came down to the specific house, we were having a hard time. And there were some homes that I was okay with and you weren't. You expressed your opinion, and I took that into consideration, and I didn't buy that house. Even though I could have. I was the one buying it. It was my money. I could have very well just said, hey, we're buying this house, deal with it. What I'm trying to say is, even though I was kind of in charge and I was the one leading it, I took into account your thoughts. I wasn't just like, I don't care what the hell she thinks. This is what I'm doing. That's not leadership. Doesn't act like that. But there's this feeling in America, women, where they are repulsed by the thought that the man might actually lead, because there's this fear that the man is going to just discount them and just do things without even considering them, which I think you found. I don't think that's the way I lead. I'm clearly the leader of this family. I think we both acknowledge that, but I think I also take into consideration your thoughts and your desires, and obviously it makes me want, the fact that you allow me to lead makes me want to make you happy. It makes me want to do more for you. And that's the thing I don't think American women understand about men, is that men want to make their woman happy and please the woman. But when the woman is bossy all the time and bitching and complaining and nagging, and that's the thing, they just nag nonstop. When they're never happy, no matter what you do, you become less wanting to do things. I remember, I don't know if I'll share this story on the vlog, but I remember, I try very hard not to tell stories about my ex-wife, really out of respect for my kids, not for my ex-wife so much, but it made me think of it. So I'm gonna say it. I probably won't share it on the vlog.
Yeah.
But my ex-wife was trying to get me to spend some money for my son, and I was fine with doing that. I didn't mind what she requested, but the way she demanded it of me, that you will do this, and gave me all the reasons I better do it. What do you think my response to that was? It was to recoil and be like, hell no, you're not my wife anymore. You're not gonna tell me what I have to do, what I don't have to do. But anyhow, I remember my son came and sat down and talked with me and said, Dad, this is what I'm doing, and I'd like, if you will help, cover some of this cost. And I said, absolutely, so no problem. And I said, I appreciate you coming and asking nicely and requesting and making your case. I said, that's the way it should be. I said, the fact that your mother just kind of demanded it of me, and it was just assumed it should happen, and if I didn't, I was a bad dad. That was basically the tone of her to me. It didn't make me want to do anything. But as soon as he came and asked nicely and was polite, what do you want to do in that case? You want to help the person. And I started that whole story because of talking about men leading women, and American women, seem to have this fear of a man leading because they think that it's inferior to be the person being led. All right, so you said one of your main observations is American women can be bossy, and they try to lead with the husband rather than allow the husband to lead. What are your thoughts about that, as far as, is it a good thing, is it a bad thing? How do you think it works in life practically? What are your thoughts on that?
Like, practically, it's okay to be like that, but not like too much. Like you want to be like 80% and your husband is just 20%. Maybe if you want to be like bossy, maybe just do a little bit, not 40%, like maybe 40%.
Just a little bossy?
Yeah, because I feel like if you're the one who's above to your husband, it doesn't make the relationship, I guess, healthy and happy. It makes it more arguing, because men have this mindset that they want to be like here, and then you being also want to be them, like as a man, even if you're a woman, it makes them like think that, oh, maybe, like I feel like you're gonna like lose their confidence, I guess, and that makes it like unhealthy in a relationship, because there's always fighting and fighting and fighting, and no one of you wants to be being like
Well,
around.
while you were talking, it made me think about. We watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance, guys. I know we mentioned in the vlog before. I don't know how many of you guys actually follow that show, but obviously we went through the 90 Day Fiance process to get her here, and so it became early on a show we watch, and we watch to this day all the shows. Well, there's a season out right now where there's a couple where the woman is definitely the boss of the family, the French lady. Do you remember their names?
Mm-hmm.
The French lady and the guy. And we were just watching an episode the other day, and I couldn't live the way that guy's living, because you can tell he tries really hard to please her. He tried, and I think part of the problem is he has given up his leadership role. Like, she's in charge, she's clearly in charge. It's not even a 50-50 thing. And so she doesn't respect him. And that's the thing I find funny about the whole leadership thing is women want a strong man. So they really want a man who leads, but they'll try to take the reins and say, no, I'm in charge. And then when they do, like if the guy goes back and says, okay, go ahead, you're in charge now, like that guy clearly has, she loses all respect for him, because the woman really knows in the back of her head the man should be the leader, and they don't respect you when you don't lead.
Yeah, especially if it's not already like a good idea for all the family. Like if you're doing something that's not good, or like you're spending too much and like crazy, it's not good for your financial, I guess. So you really need to have like a guidance.
Well, and like that family in 90 Day Fiance, I mean, there's just so much conflict. Obviously, the show kind of creates conflict, but you can see where she just doesn't respect him. Every time he tries to bring up something, she just dismisses him, because she's taking control, she's in charge, and he let that happen, and she just beats him down. And I think it's unfortunately what happens in a lot of those relationships. You see, I've known some couples like that where the woman is clearly the dominant person, and the men become little mice. They're not men anymore. And now I have seen instances where it does work. I'm not going to say it never works, but most of the time, the men just become little shadows of a man.
Yeah, really. When I watched that couple in 90 Day Fiance, and I saw that guy like taking care of the baby, and then the girl is like really working hard. So they're kind of like in opposite situation. That men supposed to be like the one working, and then the women supposed to be like taking care of the child. It's just odd to watch. Like, it's not normal for me, for my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's very peculiar. It's still rare, even in America, to have a complete role reversal like they've got. But in the Philippines, it's you don't see it at all, do you?
Yeah, not in the Philippines. Like, it's always been the guy needs to work, and then if they have kids, then mother should be staying in the house, taking care of the kids, taking care of the household chores, and that's like how mom and dad, like that. So
well, and guys, I think that's why we often use the term provincial Filipina or traditional Filipina, because of that right there, because the roles in the Philippines are pretty traditional, and it's not viewed negatively by the women for them to stay home and make a home and raise the children, where here being a mother is viewed negatively by feminists and by our culture. It's looked down upon. How we got to that point, I don't know. but we did. But in the Philippines, it's very different, where the traditional roles still exist and they're cherished, and I don't think there's people wanting to see that change. I'm sure maybe in some of the bigger cities, maybe there's people that want that. But like when you're growing up, did you ever see people kind of revolting against that system of the man out working and the woman, she's still in charge. She's just in charge of the home. Do you ever see any revolt against that?
What's revolt?
Where people don't want that. They're like, no, this isn't the way it should be.
I don't think so, because I think it's already like kind of normal thing there in Philippines. It's not about like, like you need to do it. I think they also like kind of see their ancestor that they're doing it, so they're kind of following the tradition. And even me, like I'm following what my mom and dad is doing, because I think that's the right thing to do.